This is a review of the Spyderco Manix 2XL. As you can see, I have two of them here. One of them is the standard stainless steel version, and the other one here is the black blade version with black hardware on it, and it's coated here with a diamond-like carbon finish on the blade. I found these knives to be excellent in quality and craftsmanship. This is a top-class knife. I carry the same Gerber knife for 21 years. It was my everyday carry. I finally got tired of it for a couple of reasons. One is I couldn't keep a great edge on the blade. It's pretty sharp. I mean, it's almost sharp enough to cut paper easily and open boxes. But I also didn't like the fact that it had this serrated edge. I got tired of that because I like sharpening my own knives and using a strop on them to really get them razor sharp. And with this short, fine edge here, I couldn't do that. What I wanted was a bigger knife. I've got big hands, as you can see. And this knife here, if you look at the body of the knife itself on top of the extra large knife, the extra large knife is bigger. And the length isn't that much greater, but the primary difference is the thickness. So overall, I wanted a better knife for everyday carry. I wanted a knife that was good size because I have big hands. I wanted a knife with an ultra-sharp blade that was easy to care for. It would stay sharp longer and wouldn't rust after years of daily carry. I wanted a strong knife with a good-looking locking blade that was easy to open and had a good shape, and to allow me to safely grip the knife and use it even with gloves on or wet hands. These Spyderco Manix 2 XL knives fit those needs. One of the things you'll notice when you pick this up is how wide this knife is. I'm a big guy. It doesn't bother me a lot, but for a lot of people that may be a problem, and it's just your personal preference. It has a very large spidey hole here that you can put your finger in and open the knife with and snap it open. And I want to tell you, out of the box, this thing is razor sharp. I could shave the hair off my arm and off my hand. Right out of the box, these knives are razor sharp. They really just slice through paper and cardboard, anything that you want to cut without any problems at all. There's a ball bearing locking mechanism that's rock solid. When you open this knife up and it snaps in place, there is no lateral movement at all on these knives, and there's no up and down movement. If you look down at here, you'll see this flat area on the inside of the knife that's attached to the blade. That flat area is where this spring mechanism will pop forward and push a ball bearing. You heard it snap, and it's on top of that flat place and between this back of the knife here, and it locks the blade in place. It is very, very strong, and I like it a lot. One of the worst things you can have happen when you're using a very sharp knife is to have it close on your hand, especially when they're this sharp. The blade itself is 3.88 inches long. It's made of CPM S30V stainless steel, and as you can see, it's flat ground. It's extremely sharp and beautiful. I love the curved blade design with a smooth plain edge and no serrations. I know I can sharpen this to perfection. The knife blade itself has the look of a very fine piece of cutlery, and this flat grind on it makes it look like a ultra sharp chef's knife, for example. So slicing things open like an apple or whatever, very easy, very smooth. What I like about this is that both sides of the frame of the knife are lined with stainless steel. It's a skeletonized stainless steel to decrease the weight, and what it does, it makes a very rigid handle very strong, so you have a good grip on it. This stainless steel provides strength and safety if you intend to use it in tough applications. The framework itself is covered with G10 scales that provide an excellent gripping surface for your hand. One of the things I love about this knife is the shape of the handle. It fits my hand perfectly. I've got a big hand, and it feels like it was custom made just for me. I like these notches in here so that when I'm using the knife, I don't feel like my hand's going to slip around, and it feels very comfortable. A couple other things I like is that this top of the knife here has jimping on both sides, so you get a firm grip in your hand or with your thumb. And even this ramp has jimping on it. When I hold the knife like this is a natural place for my thumb to rest, and I feel like it's locked in place. And when you get on this ramp here that has that jimping and you push on it, your finger doesn't slip up at all. It's locked into place because it's like having your finger on a very coarse file. As I pointed out the jimping here on the top and on this ramp, if I turn this over, you'll see here the finger choil, which is a curved place here, and there's jimping here on the handle and on the knife. If you're going to do fine detailed work, you can actually hold the knife like this and do some fine work with it and get more control of the knife. It's also very good for holding it when you're trying to sharpen it on a stone, for example. One of the nice things about this finger choil is even though it does shorten the blade somewhat, if you have your finger here and the knife were to close, the choil hits your finger, not the blade. And I guarantee you, if that blade hit your finger, you'd cut it off. This knife itself weighs in at 5.11 ounces. As I mentioned, the skeleton frame inside allows you to get inside. You can see here, you can see all the way through the knife. There are some mounting pieces in here, and you can see them there. And it makes it easy to get a Q-tip in there, or just use hot water and soapy water and rinse this out and dry it and keep the knife clean and keep dust and lint and dirt out of it. As I've mentioned, the jimping here and on this ramp and here on the finger choil, you also have it here on the handle and here where your palm would rest. Gives you very, very good non-slip points for your hand and your palm to hold everything in place. You get a very secure grip on this knife. The knife itself has a nice strong clip so you can carry it in your pocket. It does sit a little high with about this much of it sticking out of your pocket, more than with some knives. They could move it a little higher up because they have this nice hole here. It's lined with a tube that you can put a lanyard through there. It's lined and makes it very nice and strong so it's not going to fray the lanyard. This pocket clip can be reversed. You can remove it, and on the other side you'll see it's already pre-drilled with 3 holes to put the clip on this side for left-hand carry if you like. I mentioned this ball bearing lock. On each side of the blade on the body is this slide, and when you first get this, it's pretty stiff. You're going to have to grasp this with 2 fingers and pull it down and close it. After you use a knife 3 or 4 times, or maybe more, 30, 40, 50, 100 times, it starts to loosen up. It's pretty easy. Locks open easily, closes easily. Mine's still a little bit tight to close. I could change that by loosening this screw a little bit, but to be honest with you, I like the way it feels. It doesn't have any wobble, and it feels nice and tight when it's closed. But I wanted to show that ball bearing slide. Because this locking mechanism has a slide on each side, it is ambidextrous and it locks securely in place. In fact, it takes a finger on both sides like I've shown you to pull it closed to be able to close the blade. I like both of these knives. Overall, I wanted a black blade also, so I went ahead and purchased one. I looked at multiple knives that have black blades, and to be honest with you, you can't question the quality of this knife. I know there's others that are rated higher, like the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, but I actually like this knife a lot, so I went ahead and bought this one also. I like how it has all black hardware, the black finish on the blade. All the screws are black. In addition, the belt clip's black. I'm very pleased with the quality of these knives, their functionality, and their appearance. This is a quality product that's made in the USA, and it deserves a 5-star rating. I'm pleased with the quality of the knives, and I recommend them to you. This is a very good product. This review is done by JJ CEO.